Oops.
What?
I forgot to record OBS.
You're joking, right?
No.
With an airship acquired, Dude was approached by Cain, who explained that he'll replace Ima's life with the Crystal of Troy, but only under condition that her life is good. With that message, Dude Witch and his companions flew to the castle of Mori in Miyako, Troia's city, whose people spoke of epilepsy, and advised Dude's party to be captured by their children's children. In the throne room, they met a regime of women, who explained that the crystal had been stolen by a dark elf, and the only way to defeat him and replace the crystal in order to restore the shadow was to splash him with fire. They also found Dump alive and well, who grieved over failing Anna, then handed over his alternative snapshot while insisting that Ima must be used as the adventure continues.
I'm still considering getting that new Elgato mic, even though I have a Yeti. Just because I really like that feature of making it so, like, if you yell, it uses, like, it records two separate audio streams. One that's like the normal volume, and then one that's a lower volume. So if you clip the mic, it'll go to the one that this is lower volume, so it won't clip the mic anymore. I'm like, that's cool. So it'll make editing yells easier.
I've always hated this screen because the new GAM is automatically blue, but then I always have all these pink save files.
Well, I never change it unless I'm bored.
I always set it like this, although I think I usually set it a little brighter than this. But I just remember when I was setting it, you're just like, it's too bright.
I mean, the colors might be slightly different because of the fact that we're on like a digital computer screen or TV screen or whatever the heck you're playing on versus a CRT TV.
The thing is, I was inspired to use a color like this because of the box. I mean, the box is more red than pink.
I was going to say, isn't the box red?
But the box inspired me to have it like this and go with like a hot pink.
It looks more purpley to me. I mean, it has like a magenta color-ish.
Well, I mean, like I said, I toned it down a bit because I remember when I was setting it more to how I would normally have it, you made a remark about it being too bright, so I toned it down a little from how it would normally be. Because normally I would just have it as like a super bright, like neon pink.
That reminds me of the Final Fantasy VI Chocobo with the most distracting background ever. Speedrunners usually do it as a donation incentive or whatever. Like if they meet the donation incentive, they switch their menu to like the demonic looking Chocobo.
The shitty Chocobo one where you can't see anything.
Yeah, they switch it to that, but they also change the colors around so it's like impossible to see anything.
The thing is, I always thought that was kind of a neat background for just being a background, but not for actually playing the game. This could be going better. I'm underestimating these enemies because of my crappy equipment, because I already took care of getting my stuff ready for the next dungeon.
Yeah, you like took care of like looking at what everything does, so you know what most things do.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling you probably forgot since it's been a week.
That's what my notepad is for.
Your notepad has all this stuff on it, and then you look at something and you're like, what does to eat mean? we need to do some damage. Don't we? I can't remember the story at this point. I don't remember if we get anybody really shortly that helps with stuff like this.
No.
We're just not supposed to be this trash.
It's because I switched our equipment to garbage before getting to the dungeon.
Also, the characters are in the wrong locations.
They're good.
Why is Cecil in the back?
Because he has a bow.
Why does he have a bow?
Because he can't use swords in the next dungeon.
Oh, that's why we're such trash. You changed our...
Because we're going to the dark elf place.
But you changed our equipment before we entered the place.
That way it would be ready for when we started.
But you changed equipment beforehand, so we're dying like crazy because these things are...
Yes, I have already acknowledged that mistake a week ago. But I decided to not worry about it.
If I can't get a sync right for some reason, I just wait until a dialogue comes up and then I just look at like how I read it and then I just go off with that.
But what if the game doesn't have dialogue?
I read lines, so it doesn't matter. I am a story time LP here in a sense. Or like if the line is showing up, I will read it.
Yeah, but what if there's no text?
I'll come up with something.
Like if it's a game that doesn't have the story.
Then I probably wouldn't play it.
Like that Trip World game or whatever it was called.
That was just a fun game.
That didn't really have a story.
Well, it did. That was still a fun game. I wanted to play it exclusively just because it was like a unique game.
You know who could read that? The rednecks from South Park.
Counter cloth. What is it? If this is the case, please do not hesitate to contact me.
It seems to be good if it is my pawn. Do not worry, my magical line is on.
That rhymed.
Alright, we don't have to worry because Hwab Day's magical line is on. Too bad everybody else sucks.
I don't know why, but earlier this morning, like when I was sitting there working, I actually was thinking about Cecil's like dark armor setup and how when he changes into a paladin, like he has like the white hair and like the eyes and all that. And I'm like, does he look like that underneath or did he have emo hair at the time, but we just don't see it? Like even in the, wait, does he take off the helmet in the, I don't remember if he takes off the helmet in the DS version at some point, like just during like a cutscene.
I wouldn't know, I've never played the DS version.
You actually probably should if you want a challenge.
I had a friend who said it sucked, but he also has a tendency to complain about things being hard.
He probably also just has a tendency to complain about things being different.
Don't worry, I'm good at that also.
Well, this is pretty much like the exact same thing with me like in the Final Fantasy VI mobile ports. He's like walk diagonally.
Yeah, that was cheating.
And Cyan isn't broken.
Well, he's sort of is.
Well, I meant like glitched broken. You can actually use like his stuff and actually do other things with other people. That's actually was like one of the best changes.
I used to just love running from all battles in this place. I was just like, screw it.
You still can.
I said used to. I used to run from all battles in dungeons in this game actually because when I was a kid, I sucked at RPGs to a point where Mystic Quest's difficulty was a worthy challenge.
Well, that sounds miserable.
I liked RPGs though, so I played them regardless. I just wasn't very good at them. In this game in particular, I would always just run from all the battles in dungeons. I would do battles, oops, wrong button. Unicorn, god damn it, that's an item I now have to not know. Between things, I went through all this trouble to test all these mystery items to find out what they are, and now I just got a new one.
That's what happens when you progress in RPGs. And no description. Now, if you're playing the DS version and onwards, on the other hand, you probably would have a description.
They probably even mention what it does in the GBA version.
Probably, because those menus are actually updated in that one. And then there's a different translation as well.
And there's also weird AI quirks where Rubicant kills himself with fire.
There's a bunch of weird quirks of the GBA versions of games.
Because Rubicant is supposed to do like his thing and heal himself, but instead he blasts himself with fire when his cape is the wrong way, so he does damage instead.
I think he does that depending on like how you interact with the battle as well. Like it could happen in this version too. I think it happens in the DS version and onward as well, depending on like how you fight him.
Well, I've never had that problem in this version, but I had it in the GBA one, and I can't imagine what would have been done differently.
Like, I think I actually like made it so I could hit him out with that as well by making him do the switch thing, and then he would hit himself because he was like ready to do it or something. I don't remember how it worked.
I don't know. Boy, are we getting ahead of ourselves though talking about him, but that's okay.
It's okay. This game isn't very long anyway. It will probably be there soon, give or take.
Give or take how long it takes to talk to people, because we shouldn't be 8 hours in already.
I know. We should be like halfway through the game if we were playing effectively.
Not the Japanese version, but when I used to play the shitty version back in the day on the Super Nintendo, I used to beat it in about 14 to 16 hours usually.
Uh-oh, it's these guys.
The mages that don't use magic.
The ones that bonk you in the head and kill you.
I always hated these guys in the original Final Fantasy just because their name was Mage, but they didn't use magic.
It was Mind Flayer in the version I played, wasn't it?
I think it's Mind Flayer in all of them except the original on the NES where they were called mages, at least the original ones that you fight in the Marsh Cave.
You can tell it's beneficial to you because it defaulted to using it on the enemy and not you.
Yeah.
Because if it was like something that would cast haste and it defaults to the enemy, you'd be like, well, why would you do this to me?
And we wouldn't know.
At least until you got wrecked by hasted ogres. Why are they moving like normal people now? They were slow moments ago.
Or hasted zombies. They're just like, I remember how to move.
Yeah, zombies are still my, zombies are like okay as like a medium, but I still think that they would never actually happen. I feel like the fact that they're too decayed, they would just like fall apart before they could even like do anything.
Yeah.
And that's why The Walking Dead will never happen. I also love the fact in that show, or not the show, but like the comic books as well. I feel like all the walkers and stuff like that should like, because they were like actively decaying over time, that they all should have been gone like towards the later portions of the storyline. It's like everything should not be normal, but they should be all gone. Like there should be a lot less of them.
Yeah, but it's like one of those stories where it's kind of wrote itself into a logical wall because it lasted longer than it had reason to.
I mean, it ended, so that's nice.
But sometimes things do that. They keep going and going until the story doesn't make any sense anymore.
Or they pull what the show did and completely deviate from the storyline of what the books actually had and take people off because of that.
Well, I don't know any of that stuff. I never watched the show anyway.
I watched quite a bit of it, honestly. I got autographs and stuff from Norman Reedus and Andrew Lincoln. Oh, that was a fun trip.
I don't know who those people are.
They are basically just the main characters of the show. I was going to say their names, but then you would be like, oh, you wouldn't even know that either.
All I know is that one of them is named Daryl because of the countless times people have asked me about my opinions of the show when I introduce myself to them.
My name is Daryl. Do you like The Walking Dead? Why would my name have anything to do with that?
I mean, it hasn't been that blunt, but I remember one time I went to the bank and then a guy asked something like, so how's the zombie fight been going or something like that.
I still love how Andrew Lincoln, like he's like, I can't remember his nationality. I think it was like, not Brit, was he Brit? I don't remember. Basically, he had to put on an accent. He had to like do like an American accent sort of deal. And you can tell like sometimes it just pops up through it because in the show and the comic books or whatever, he has basically like a son in a sense named Carl. But sometimes he'll just yell, Coral! I'm like, okay. Does that skeleton have anything?
I don't know. Evidently not. He kind of looks special though. He kind of looks like the dead body from the opening sequence to Feta Emblem of Justice, except that dead body has a sword through its chest.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that. I was interested in like seeing if there was fan translations.
There is.
But the version I was actually more interested in playing doesn't. So it's like, okay.
What, the Saturn version? Yeah, that hasn't been translated, but that could be due in part to most of the main story sequences being redone in cinematics.
Well, that's actually not that hard to do because whenever they do stuff like that, they just encode subtitles into the cutscenes.
I played the Saturn version a bit, but didn't actually finish it.
Yeah, but playing with a guide all the time in order to read certain words and things like that is not fun. I played through a couple games like solely in another language before just because I had no other option, and it's a lot of work.
That's how I originally played Final Fantasy III on the NES, although back then I didn't give two shits about storyline in games, so I didn't mind just using a walkthrough.
Yeah, playing RPGs in other languages was hard.
I was playing like a really early translation patch, like the all the menus were translated and the story was translated up through the Earth Crystal. So, like, the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, back then I didn't care about storyline in RPGs, so that was all good for me.
Yeah, I still remember how the DS version of that game, like I played through a teeny bit of the NES version of it when I found out that there was a fan translation way back when, but I just couldn't really get into it that much. And then like I tried playing the DS version and I noticed I was like by myself in the beginning and I'm like, oh, neat.
That's what you're like. You see that you're by yourself and you're just like, what?
I'm not a knight. I have like an actual look to myself. I think once I actually have more efficient hard drives in my computer, like I still have decent hard drives, but like
You'll just have it always recording stuff.
I'll just maybe have it like always recording stuff. Yeah. Just that's mainly there. So like some capture cards actually have it. Yeah, the newer Elgatos actually have it as well, just so you can do that as well. I think it's called instant replay there as well.
And it's probably for situations exactly like that.
Well, that and when like streamers sometimes like, or not streamers, but sometimes you're not recording something.
But then something happens that you want recorded.
Yes, exactly. So you can actually just hit the thing and it will like say that for you. That's the Switch actually has that as well. Like when you hit the save like video thing, it's essentially what it is. It's just that like it records.
It only
like,
goes back 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, in the case of like computers and capture cards and things like that, they can do like whatever amount.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying in the Switch's case, it's only 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's mainly just because it'll probably be too taxing on the CPU to do that otherwise.
And then there's certain games where it doesn't let you, but then I want to. There have been several instances, I believe, in Warframe where I wanted to record something that happened, and it's like, this game can't do video, blah, 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 and I'm just like, god damn it.
Well, the Switch struggles around that game as it is, so that's probably why.
Yeah, 90% of the time it's just the two of us, and it still lags to hell when there's too many enemies on screen.
I also noticed that whenever you hit the home button and re-enter the game, even when you're docked, the resolution's really garbage for a split second.
Yeah, for the first like half second, the resolution just goes to like 144.
Face bat.
And they're taking me into custody.
I actually think it switches into the handheld mode resolution when it does that. Although I think it also does it in handheld mode, so I really can't comment on that. But could you imagine if all games did that? Like you're playing like a port of this, or just like an SNES game, and like the resolution goes even worse for a moment?
Well, then the game would look normal because it's no longer in HD.
Yeah.
You'd need to constantly do that to get the full experience.
Yeah. It's like you're making the frames interlace because you're constantly going in and out of the game by hitting home. So like you're seeing every other frame, technically like how interlace works, where it does half the interlace is weird versus progressive. I don't even know if you even know what I'm talking about.
I know you're saying words.
Yeah, I really want to explain it, but it's probably going to be too technical. Well, it's not even too technical. Probably most people know what the heck I'm talking about.
I just realized dude's out of arrows.
Yeah, that's the downside of bows.
I hope that's recent, but I really haven't been paying attention.
I haven't really noticed either because I'm not really effectively looking at like dude trying to attack.
Yeah, I'm more just concerned with everybody other than him.
I'm just watching the ogres and whatever the heck you're fighting die and laughing at the face bats and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to pay attention to what Favwe, Huabda, and Rabba are doing, but dude's just kind of there.
Yeah, when it comes to Final Fantasy, when you're just constantly mashing the attack button, especially in a place like this, you're more worried about just your HP. Like right now, all I've really been doing in this dungeon, even though I'm not even playing, is just just looking at the character's HP levels and being like, oh, you need a cure.
Or, oh, Huabda's dead because he got punched for half his health.
Yeah.
And dude can't even protect him in time because he just dies.
Yep. You just get punched in the face and died. And now we got 3 treasures. What do we have? A high potion.
That's good.
A battle.
Uh-oh. I forgot to give dude his things.
It's a back attack.
I don't like this.
Now you see why whenever I play RPGs, I just forget stuff. It's because I'm focusing on other things and I don't remember.
Take your new arrows.
Goodbye, spider. How funny. You just open up a chest and you see a spider inside and you just grab it and take it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Unless you're a fighter from 8-Bit Theater. He doesn't like spiders.
Post-apocalyptic skies right with mighty death.
Yeah. Ooh, clippers.
What's that? Ooh, it's a weapon.
Yeah. I actually was going to say it's a weapon for young, but...
Fuck if I know what it does.
I don't remember for the life of me. Mainly because it's literally Clippers right now, and it's not like an actual weapon name.
And you can't look at stats because, like, none of his weapons increase his attack power at all. They just all have different attributes.
Yeah, you basically have to find out what it does by attacking something and be like, oh, okay. Well, it's green.
I think it might be poison.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure he gets poison knuckles or claws or whatever.
And they're called Clippers.
I guess. I knew I should have bought. I felt like I considered buying
I have not hewn.
more arrows, but at the same time, I felt like I was going to be using my attack items more to do damage. But then I saw what that fragment bomb did, and I changed my mind.
This is such a situational dungeon. Like, it makes no sense. Like, well, let's just have this dungeon that pretty much everything, like, you can't use metal in it for some reason.
They wanted to do something different, and they did.
It's just, it makes no sense in the grand scheme of things. It's like, oh, we want you to get this crystal that was taken or whatever, and it's in a dungeon that you can't use metal in for some reason.
Because the only thing that can kill the Dark Elf is metal.
So it naturally has something to make it so people can't use metal. Dracoldi and face bats.
Okay. Whatever goodbye is, it works on the lady.
It did 1080p. That's why
Icho-cha-cha.
I juggle. I have not hewn.
Yeah, okay. What are you hewing?
I have no idea. But goodbye does not work on the Mind Flayer.
That was unfortunate.
What happened? He ran out of MP?
No, I cast stop and it didn't work.
Why'd you cast stop?
I wanted to stop the ogre.
Why didn't you just kill it with bio?
Because I like being fancy.
And now it'll die because everyone else will attack it. Wow.
I like doing fancy things. Fancy isn't always wise, but I like doing it.
Cecil now has over 1,000 HP.
Hello, Crystal Room.
Uh-oh. He's speaking spell words.
He's speaking the language of the elves.
Omae tachi yoku koko mande correcta. Daga todoka. Kotoka dekamo sushino crystal ha. My Tachino Tanimo Doranai Sonabud boyfriend Kono Washishino Moroku.
Hello, I would like to introduce you to my Sonabode boyfriend. He's very Watashino. I think he's still saying Nika.
Nika?
Dude Witch, leave it to us here. And then we get to fight not Astos.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, oh, hey, look, it's Astos.
Shoot him in the face. Or okay.
Uh-oh.
There was no way to read that fast. Now, you know what I don't get about this?
That you're getting wrecked?
No, that spell does so much damage because you're not using metal. But then, like, you fight him again and it doesn't do that much damage. Even to people you don't switch to metal equipment.
Yeah.
No, it's not Cam. If you use it, then
That's
I
was gonna say that was Fubway talking.
Yeah. But I had to get it out in time. If you can use it. Ugh.
Dude and so on are not dangerous.
If only they had been dangerous, they could have handled this.
It is not yet a moving body. Where are you going? These are two different people. I do not need to worry until the fight there immediately. You still have to stay as much as you want. Do not overdo it. It does not matter. Dude, I only have to scoop them.
I will help by playing the only song I know how to play.
The worst thing about this situation is he didn't have to sit there and like strain himself so much. He could have just asked somebody to give him his harp.
Or since he knew we were going here, he could have just had his harp with him the whole time.
Whispers from the jar. Is harp of dump have heard.
Oh, this warm wife is the enthusiasm of dump.
Nara kono hakasha gugigi. Why is Dark Elf exclusively in another language?
Except for Crystal and Boyfriend.
Yep. It is still, dude. While this fellow is going down, you should not be able to punish yourself. Do not forget the Ken.
Ah, yes, Ken. I understand. Dump. And then you just attack him without changing your equipment and die.
I love the fact that even the designers of this dungeon is like, yeah, we don't want you fighting a boss with like garbage, so yeah, here's an excuse to actually have your equipment again.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Let's waste your time by making you go through a dungeon without your equipment and then just let you have it later.
See, my magic defense just went down by like 4, but now his magic is going to do less damage.
Gagogo Yokomo Omaitashi Colossus.
Oh, he knows another word. I forgot to put Cecil back where he belongs. Oh well.
You could fix that. Brazil.
See, look at that. I didn't even change Robda's equipment. And he took 600 less damage.
You also just did over 1,000 damage in the back row, so I think you're okay. Whisper.
Oh no, Fumboy's a pig.
Piggy. You're now Piggy.
Quick, go on a diet so you're no longer a pig. That makes sense, right?
That's not how that works. How? What? Why didn't Cecil get hit by that?
Because he didn't get hurt.
Like, he didn't do the animation of him, like, doing, like, hitting him.
Yeah, I think that basically just means it was blocked. Oh no, he turned into a thing. I forgot about this part.
And now you get to fight him normally.
Yeah, normally, as in normally with dude in the wrong spot.
I mean, you can still swap them.
Well, that would swap Wabda to the front also, because they only have the 2 formations.
You know what would have been actually decently cool for this battle and actually maybe would slightly redeem Edward, maybe? The remake didn't do it either, but if they made it so the boss theme here actually had a combination of the harp playing in it, that actually would have like made it like have a little bit more flair to it. But nope, it just swaps to a normal boss theme. You're like, well, I guess I just need to attack. That wasn't good.
Because Chikara reasons.
Breath. He breathed on you, and you lost a lot of damage. I mean, health. Losing a lot of damage means you get cured. English is a language.
Yeah. But its use can be argued. Especially by the internet.
Are not Astos,
Yeah.
knowing Colossus, Crystal, and boyfriend. Is the Dark Dragon his boyfriend?
I guess.
We'll never know because he just killed
He
it.
didn't transform, he just summoned his boyfriend.
Cuckoo. Naseano Otoga Konkomades. That last one I don't think was Japanese. Crystal Seabra forever, roll back then. Moth. Gugaki go.
Why is he like that?
I don't know.
You did it, Dump. You mattered for once.
So why is there like an exact duplicate of the crystal room here? Does the crystal just make the room as well?
Maybe. I took a crystal of Tsuchida. That makes sense. Oops. I can fix this, trust me.
You will eventually put dude in the right spot. That's one thing I really didn't like about 4, having like the back row and front row be like a 3-2 combination instead of exactly how you want them. I mean, a lot of the time they kind of have it situated to where it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not like you ever have like excess of one or the other, really.
It's still kind of annoying. And now we fly exactly back to where we were because it doesn't know any other locations.
Including going over the mountains that it can't fly over.
You know, you technically could just get on another black chocobo and just fly back and just leave it sitting there the rest of the game.
Yeah, I could.
But you like to do things the complicated way.
I like to do things the experience points way as I get in no battles.
I know.
Hello, sir.
It's funny because if you don't talk to him here and then just go to the metal cave, you actually will just game over because you don't have like the scene thing. You seem to have done it.
Dump, thanks to you.
Such a thing. But why are you crazy in that song? When I was leaving Azig... What?
He's a that, apparently.
Gyeonjin, there was a thing that he asked me to sing a song that would cry for a shiki. That's why I thought so.
Thanks to it, I got a chance.
Such a me. Like me? Ah.
Huh, interesting. He is like him. Dump!
Wabda-san.
Anna also made happy. It is because it was made to a sort of thing like a naked man.
Wabda-san.
I think only now is to fix that. Anna's toughness will always be taken at my meteor. Dump is also sentence of Onushi.
Thank you.
I feel like that thank you should have ended in a question mark.
Probably.
Dump, you are Yuki. There is a man.
Anna, I understand somehow. I understand. I don't.
Do you really? Because if you understand, I could use an explanation. Bye, Dump. You'll never matter again.
Until like later.
Until like the very last thing, and that's only because everybody matters.
That's because it's the power of friendship.
Yes, the power of friendship will save the day, because the power of friendship is bullshit. There is stuff I want to buy. I will go to this place to buy all the things. I want to see how many I have.
3. It tells you how many you have when you go to buy it. I'm pretty sure.
Nope.
Or not. Okay. Weird. That's very archaic.
Everything about this game is archaic, including how you have to use the sort button, otherwise they're all separated.
Why? I actually saw that. I'm like, why does it still say 3? And then it's like, okay. That's why you gotta buy them in bundles of 10, apparently.
I want some potions.
You mean portions?
When I was a kid, I used to go so overboard with potions. I would constantly have like 3 or 4 stacks of 99, despite the fact that I wouldn't be fighting random battles anyway.
I would always just kind of do 99 of like everything that I could afford.
Basically what I would do, since I didn't do I would do random battles on the overworld, but in dungeons I wanted to conserve my strength and not die halfway through a dungeon and have to do it again, so I'd always run from the battles. And then whenever I got to a boss, I would just grind before the boss if I felt I needed to.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
You're ready for it now. Oh yeah, yeah.
I actually had a moment like that in Paper Mario recently where they go, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I was about to say, oh yeah, yeah. But I actually forgot, and I actually really wanted to just kind of edit it in, but I'm like, no. I tried, but I couldn't get it to sound good. That's very crystal. You got it back. Yay. They're all women.
That one is a woman with quotation marks.
It seems that you have kept the crystal. Who is this? Is this Kane or is it Gobez?
It's one of them. I don't know. It's Kane.
This is
Kane.
Leave to the front to leave to the U.
So we get to
Let's
keep
take
the
it to
crystal. Great.
Let's take it to the fridge. Oh, Chance of Ima.
You can keep the crystal. I do not need it. I don't think I understand how ransoming works. There seems to be something wrong. Please make use of the reason why. Crystal was funny. Do not be afraid.
I will make a fish crystal fake. What?
I don't know.
Promise. I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. What is the current situation?
Wow, they basically just said the same thing, pretty much. Even though it came back, there is no choice. It's just dregs. Crystals change their appearance depending on what they have. Hello there is something frightening.
That seems like something that should be relevant, but it's not.
What on earth happened?
Bad stuff happened. To this way now. Is that a cat face on the crest?
It looks like it, yeah. It's the cat place.
And then the views come rolling in. The number one tip to internet success. Cat. Bye for now. I'll come back to you when I'm supposed to come back to you, whenever that is. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to do all the YouTube things. And if you want to see more Google Translated madness, then be sure to go check out Azure Brian's channel where he and I played through Super Mario RPG Google Translated. See you next time!